Hi, first graders. I'm Miss Ball, and I teach first grade at Roosevelt Elementary in Spokane Public Schools, and I'm here to do another numberless word problem with you today. So our goal today says I can draw a model and solve word problems. So to be able to draw your model, you really have to think about what is happening in the story to make sense of that, and then draw some model that's going to help you be able to solve what's happening. We're going to break that down step by step for you today. So first of all, our word problem today is going to be about something called mud skippers. I don't know if you've ever heard of mud skippers before, but they are found along the coast of Africa, Asia, and Australia. Here's a picture of a mud skipper. There are more than 30 species of them, and the unique thing about mud skippers is that they are a fish, but they can breathe both in and out of the water. So sometimes you'll see them using their flippers to skip across the land or the mud, and they'll just hang out on the beach. They even can use special suction cups to climb trees. So here's a picture of a mud skipper climbing a tree. So I was reading this article in Ranger Rick about mud skippers, and I thought it would be fun to do a numberless word problem about them today. So if you want to follow along, I'll give you a second to grab a piece of paper and something to write with. And if you want, you can just watch and follow along in your mind. And if you're watching at home and can pause the video, that's sometimes helpful too. All right, so the first part of our word problem says, there are some mud skippers hanging out on the beach. Some more skip out of the water to join them. So first of all, what do you picture in your mind? So I showed you a picture of those mud skippers. Can you picture some mud skippers hanging out on the beach and some more that skip out of the water to join them? Do you think there might be a lot of mud skippers or just a few mud skippers? All right, let's go on to the next part of the problem. This time, I want you to listen for what might change. So it says there are some mud skippers hanging out on the beach. 23 more skip out of the water to join them. Did you hear what changed? What was the difference? And how can you use a model to help show what was different? So are there more mud skippers than you were thinking in the beginning? It says there were some mud skippers hanging out on the beach. 23 more skip out of the water to join them. So when these ones skip out of the water, that means there are going to be more mud skippers than there were in the beginning hanging out on the beach. Let's see what happens next. Think about what changed. There are 31 mud skippers hanging out on the beach. 23 more skip out of the water to join them. I cover that beginning one up. So what has changed now? Let me read that one more time. There are 31 mud skippers hanging out on the beach. 23 more skip out of the water to join them. What might our model look like? Do we want to draw 31 mud skippers on the beach and 23 more? Would that take a lot of time to draw them one by one? Or maybe we can think of a different way to do that. Take a minute to sketch out your model and think about what question could you ask about this situation. So I'm going to start with drawing 31 mud skippers, and I'm going to use our tens and ones model to help with this. So I'm going to draw 3 bundles of 10 to show 30, 10, 20, 30. And I'm going to draw 1 dot to show that there were 31 mud skippers hanging out on the beach. And I know 23 more skip out of the water to join them. So I know this number is going to get bigger. So I'm going to model this by showing a plus sign. And I'm going to use my tens and ones to draw 23. So 10, 20, 21, 22, 23. And what question could I ask about this? I could say, maybe how many mud skippers were there altogether on the beach? So our very final paper says there are 31 mud skippers hanging out on the beach. 23 more skip out of the water to join them. How many mud skippers are on the beach now? So you've done all the work. You've drawn your model. You've thought about what's happening. Now you just have to answer the question. You need to replay the story in your mind and think about what could you draw. So we have a model already over here that can help us out. We can use that to figure out how many there are altogether. I see in the number 31, there are 3 tens and 1 1. And I can put that with my 23 with 2 tens and 3 1s. And when I put this together, I can see together there are 5 tens, which is 50, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. And then I can count my ones, 51, 52, 53, 54. So I can see that there are 54 mud skippers on the beach altogether. And if you wanted to write this with an equation, then you could say 31 plus 23 more equals 54. So thanks for doing a numberless word problem with me today. You drew a model to help you make sense of the problem, and you solved the word problem today. Bye, everybody.